And hello, Internet. Thanks for tuning in to a Mr. BPG Live. We are doing a live log from the home studio today. We are broadcasting out of our home setup, as you can see, going live to YouTube to cover what I want to do today, which is going to be a little bit of everything. I'm going to start off doing a voiceover for an up-and-coming vlog that I'm going to be recording the voiceover today and then editing it somewhere in the future. Later on tonight, I'll probably do a little bit of video editing, so hopefully that'll be fun, and we'll do a little bit of Hey Hooman, which is my pet videos. And might even go live on the Simpsons. So, hope you all are doing well, and I guess I'll go ahead and get started. So, some things I wanted to cover in the community vlog. See, I find everything about this pandemic extremely interesting because it feels if we as a people had a better community mindset, we would not have the trouble we are in. Granted, we are going to want to have from time to time the ability to get anything and everything that we've always dreamed of. We want to be able to, live the good life. But there's just something about being a part of a greater community that will help centralize some of the problems we're having. But one of the ways I also view community is the idea that we are just one planet, one people, riding aboard Spaceship Earth. At some point, we all must kind of come together and choose what's best for the community and recognize our real problems and what we should be dealing with. How is it we have so many homeless, yet there are more homes that don't have places, don't have people in them because they can't afford it? Or how do we have people who are hungry or missing meals when there's plenty of food, almost excess, out there and available? And something that kind of was coded and came up was this idea of essential workers. And we kept getting fed this idea of essential workers being almost a caste system of these doctors and nurses, and not taking anything away from them. Every one of them are angels, but there's so much support staff at the front line of a hospital that, I think we remember in the background, but it's just funny how these narratives go across the web and across the world, and we end up looking in and watching them go. So, why are we not working towards a better system? I'll get more into that later, because this idea of what are we going to do when they say everything comes back to normal? And I'll ask you, what is normal? Really? And is the normal we had before, where people go hungry or people live healthy diets and don't get the help they need, or can't afford the health care, or can't afford their home, or can't afford their education, or can't afford anything, and we are supposedly the best and greatest, yet we still have a system that doesn't seem to be equitable all of the way? I don't know how we fix it. I'm not saying we give everything away, but at least my best idea of a community Spaceship Earth that could work together would be under some sort of a credit system that allows people to operate at a negative output, same way that governments can operate in a deficit. Why can't people also operate in a deficit credit system? The idea being that we as a people, if given the opportunity to vote, would probably say that the right to a house, education, and health may not be there, but if there's so many of us here, we are all more productive if we can get organized and proper education and live healthy lives to do something greater for our local community. For the past, let me get my slides going here. For the past 17 years, for 17 years, I have been working in and out of YouTube and other television space out here in the Chicagoland, trying to, as they say, build out my own independent production abilities. I've been able to work on a lot of fun things, and I've been able to create. Occasionally, I've been able to be the job creator. Okay, occasionally I've been able to produce videos that, get people work. How exciting. In other cases, excuse me, I'm producing work in the community for myself. I'm playing the daily game of life, hustling at 100 every day, working hard without fear, no doubt, and defining my success by the fact that I wake up every day and continue going, not comparing myself to others and not living here in want of more, being satisfied with what I have and trying to help as many people as possible. So that'll come into play in the future in my community vlog as I come to the end of this, but first I kind of wanted to look back at one of the other things that I do other than the occasional job creating, networking people and helping them to learn their job by being a teacher. There was a time back at the Illinois Media School where I was able to, well, you know what, let's just go to another video here. And I'll let me explain. That was Windsor BPG there. Let's play that one more time so I can get it from where I want. Okay, take two, folks. Take two. Remember, this is a voiceover recording. Okay, looks like it's not playing along, so just go back to voiceover. The idea being that here at the Illinois Media School, and I was using this, I helped teach all these students to find their work in the industry, or at least assist in teaching them. And many of them are now indebted to creditors, just like I am, to try to find work. Some of them are doing even better than I am at being able to find work because they have not the same level of things that I've gone through or didn't have. There's a million reasons why. I can't even get into all of them now. But here I am trying to figure out how is it that I'm able to continue on a path of helping people and making money. And I've been jumping around trying to find the right job, but never fully finding something that gives me enough money for my time or time for my money. So, here I am back online trying to work out how I'm going to put a team together to be able to produce for this. One of the things that I was very proud of at the Illinois Media School was the various types of productions I was able to produce. I was able to help a bunch of students as they learn their process to produce story-based and production and performance-based videos. I was able to help produce live recordings and get different students, different educations in trying to accomplish what they have wanted for themselves. In some of the recordings, we actually tried to point out different things that go on in life. We like to create public service announcements and challenge ourselves to tell new and interesting stories. This one was a suicide prevention public service announcement for a student who had recently lost a friend to suicide. And we were able to give him an opportunity to share that with others. In other cases, people dream of stardom and want to become famous. Even more cases, we're able to mix music videos with stock footage of troops coming home to show the joy and excitement and the sacrifice that they've made and everything that we've learned from them and the struggle they've gone through. We are also able to make videos that focus on some of the struggles that happen when veterans come home, as well as everybody. The whole idea of this community vlog is this idea that we are all one community. And many people are now only realizing the idea of sheltering at home and its stress that it goes on to the mind. But for someone like me who's been essentially living in a cave, subsisting on philosophy and the kindness of others, it's a little bit harder to get back in and do some other stuff. So we've worked together with these people to share these great ideas, giving the idea of hope, or just making people or giving people opportunities to both learn how to do these types of things, but also tell the stories that they want to tell. People practicing, learning how to use different softwares and become better at it. And that was one of the things that I used to do in my previous work. But now I'm going to have to be stepping away from some of the work that I'm doing here as a freelance producer to focus on a different type of full-time job in care. So I have been currently studying to learn the way of the first responder. It is going to be a long journey. There are a lot of habits that I need to fix. I need to still lose a little bit of weight, fat-wise, and put on a little bit of muscle, non-fat-wise. Obviously, I'm trying to develop some more on my health, and that is going to be taking much of my full-time work. But there is still going to be that side of me that's going to finish off these projects I'm working on now, and then probably be back later on. Don't forget, I've been working on a bunch of different projects. I've been here trying to create different shows. In the video game vlog, I was trying to attract the NetherRealm studio with one of the concepts that I've been working on for a while. I've always been a fan of video games, and I personally think that if we were to take one of the video games that I personally love to the best, that Mortal Kombat idea, and mix it up with a new and interesting story, it'd be the type of project that could bring in so much money and be a job creator and something that many people could work from home. But as always, I'm going to be stuck trying to trade my time for an hourly wage, and it's usually going to be a little bit lower. So while I'm working on making my hourly wage the type of job that I can be proud of, such as a first responder, I'm still going to be working on vlog ideas like this, trying to pitch stories to companies, and also writing scripts on the side whenever I have free time at home and I'm not working. There's also the movie vlogs. I've been working on movie vlogs for a while. I've been trying to get attention towards some of the other projects that I've been working on here at the desk. So, my fade there. Let me go back to my script while we talk here and see if I've covered everything else I wanted to cover. Okay. Yeah, here we go. The return to normal. I mean, is the normal we had before good enough? I mean, I know that it is still the system that creates the best wealth for the most people. It seems to be the way, but at least the news that I covered, this income inequality ever since forever has always been the story of the way we humans divide ourselves. We have a three-caste system of those who control the means and power, those who support those who are in control, and then the rest of us who are here to be innovators, creators, or mules when needed. And I've been living the dream. I've truly been living the best life possible, but all dreams must come to an end. And now I want to be able to contribute even more than just being a video producer. So I'll still be writing on the side. I'll still be creating. I'll still be posting from time to time. But this channel is going to be a little different than it has been before. And granted, I'm still basically blacklisted, where there may be one or two people watching this at any given time throughout now and the future. Hopefully it doesn't stay that way. Hopefully I can, get on the algorithm and start getting some work towards this, because I don't even know what normal is out there anymore. And there are many sick people, but if anything, this type of COVID warning has been for a few things. One, we shouldn't really have our medical field tied into money in a way that if people are afraid to be sick, or people get sick and can't afford to get care, they could die or get other people sick. If people can't afford to get care because they have to work, it's just a funny system we're in. And I just wonder what we should do when normal becomes normal. Hopefully there's a way that we can make things much better. But rather than go on and on about my stupid philosophy, I'd actually like to finish on a different type of note. So here I'm going to go ahead and record something called The Conspiracy Theory, Episode 1. This one is called The Panda Bear Dare. No, it's not. The hell am I talking about? This one is called The Panda Bear Conspiracy because I don't believe in panda bears in the same way. At least because I'm a strange and weird guy. But you always hear these stories about how pandas have trouble mating, pandas are going extinct, pandas are sleeping, pandas are lazy. That is because pandas went extinct a long time ago, according to this conspiracy theory. Now, if you go, and in fact, I'm going to have this open on the side and read from it. I want to get that going and ready to go. There is something called panda diplomacy. And what that was is China, the country of China, would use their giant pandas as diplomatic gifts to countries, extending as far back as 685 in the Tang Dynasty. It was actually termed during the Cold War as a way of, people thawing some of their tensions and getting better. But it's just something odd about every time I've ever seen a panda that makes me believe pandas aren't real. What they are people in panda suits. I mean, look at this guy. This guy right here is definitely a guy in a very elaborate suit. I've never once seen a panda on screen that doesn't look like just some guy in a suit. Look at this guy just hanging out at the zoo, pretending to eat his bamboo for a couple of shifts. And then he goes back inside. I mean, look at this smug panda. He knows what he's doing. See? No difference at all. Completely the same. Look at this guy over here. This guy thinks he's playing a flute. Anyways, that was the panda bear conspiracy. It's probably one of the dumbest things I've ever thought about. It really was just some silly thing that I did a long time ago. I was sitting around the house and just sort of laughing at, when you look at panda videos, they just have such a strange way of moving. That I've always had this theory that, well, maybe pandas did go extinct, and now all they do is send people off in suits to dress up and be the pandas at the zoos. Let's see. So now we're going to switch some gears here. Wah! Ready? 3, 2, blah. As we step into the editor's chair. So one of the things that I do on the side is work freelance as an editor. I occasionally get clients from time to time, but I'm still at that stage where, hey, like, comment, and subscribe, or comment in the doobly-doo if you know the type of person that can help find work, because I'm looking for a headhunter who can help me find work for editing. Right now, I'm working off of DaVinci Resolve and just kind of cutting through some footage where I had fun with our dogs checking out these delicious sandwiches that Chef Mama Bear, a.k.a. Suki at Pink Otter Things, made for us. So in this clip, I'm just going through the footage that I shot raw and trying to decide where I'm going to do with it. I have my media bin over here where I have my videos collected. I have my inspector bin, which allows me to shift and move the picture. Like, say I want to get rid of that lighter just because. I can go here and go back. And then when we cut, it's because we're going to go to the sandwich and then pan up to the dog. Now, funny thing about editing is you're creating something from nothing. What you're doing is you're trying to produce new footage with footage that already exists. So in many cases, you're just trying to find the best of what's there. Here it took me, I think, 3 full takes before I came even close to getting the shot right. So what I'm going to do now that I've brought my media into my media pool and added the clip I want to edit into my timeline, I'm going to grab the head of this end of the clip, slide it over, and then make my edit. So now, as I'm recording this voiceover here on YouTube, I can go ahead and voice over and eventually transfer into the editing later on a final product where I can try to make a Zorro voice. Now, Zorro is a very handsome dog. He is a good boy who knows many tricks. He is one of the smartest dogs I've ever met. And Bernie is also a dog who sometimes has the tendencies of a cat, but he's also a good boy. He is the hyper one, and in this scene, we're calling it listening for sandwiches, because Zorro has very expressive eyebrows and ears, and I just thought it was funny how they were hounding us for our sandwiches as we were making them. So, I heard that. Is that a sandwich? And then Bernie says, "What do you hear?" I could hear a sandwich. It sounds delicious. And we'll cut up. I don't even know what to say there. Oh, can I come up and, nah, I probably won't keep that. Let's just see. Come up, there's his face, I'm not looking, and then he looks away. So one of the things I like to do as an editor is go frame by frame and try to find the cut moment. So in this case, I'm going to look at his face. He sees me, he looks away, and then I'm going to frame by frame jockey until I see him make another action. That action to me indicates that that's the end of that take, and I'm going to need to cut to something else. So I'm going to pull out my razor tool and make a cut in the clip the same way you would cut a piece of film. Looking back, I also saw at the head of the clip that it starts the pan a little slow. So I want the clip to start here at the pan. So I'm going to wait till the camera starts moving up, and then there we go. So now I can trim this clip, just highlight them both and bring them back. And now it's him looking. We go back to the sandwich. Oh, no, I'm not looking. And then I'm going to cut through some of this footage by scrubbing through and cutting down the best parts. Let's see, we got Zorro sandwich. He looks over there. So I might do something fun like this. I'm going to go here with him looking at me. Those expressive eyebrows. Obviously, this is cell phone video. Hey Hooman is not my high quality work. It's more just me having fun at home and just enjoying life with the family, or at least this portion of the family that's with me tonight. And, you know, making these fun videos. So I can do something like this where it gets to him, back to the sandwich. But the thing is, I ended on this shot of him here. So what I'm going to try to do is go from the sandwich and then go to Bernie there. So what I'm going to do is, since I cut from sandwich back to Zorro, I'm now going to go Zorro back to sandwich, but in reverse. So I'm going to put a blade mark here. I'm going to select this clip, and I'm going to change its clip speed to reverse speed. So now it goes from Zorro back to the sandwich, except this time I'm going to pan over. My GPU is a little slow. And there's Zorro there. So if this were playing in full speed, obviously my computer's starting to lag a bit since I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 YouTube tabs open for the earlier part of the vlog. I'm going to close those and not forget to save your project. Save early, saved often, folks. Usually Control S is the shortcut to save. I don't know why I'm trying to do this like it's a media schooled. This is just a fun look in at the editing process. I will eventually have to voice over this talk, but for now I'm just trying to be creative with some of the video. So check my stream. Yep, we're still live there. And then I'm going to switch to the screen for a sec so I can do some behind the scenes checkups. Oh yeah, everything's looking good. I gotta hurry up. Yeah, that's right, brother. We double timed our training on the EMT. So I've been taking a couple of more classes per day here at home during this quiet time. And how you say, now I'm back to doing at least 1 or 2 lessons per day, and then going back to doing maybe an hour, half an hour of this type of stuff, depending on how much energy I have. To be honest, my current day job, weak as I had let myself become, is, you know, just pushing my heart rate up and trying to get me back in shape and avoid some of the health problems I had given myself. So Lately I've been feeling even more stronger to be able to stay up late and do stuff like this. So now, instead of that, it's going to have more of an effect of Zorro sort of jumping out of nowhere and arriving in front of the sandwich. Then we'll go back to the sandwich and back to Bernie, where he'll have his moment, and I have to look for his cut point. So he walks up nice and slow and then comes and joins him. And then there's a reposition. So then there's a moment with Bernie watching this. So let's see how I do this. Back to Bernie. Crop this in. I don't know why I get it. I've always been the type to try to crop out things like remotes. So in this case, I'm going to actually set some keyframes. At the beginning of this clip, I'm going to say I want this to be my set position to start. So I'm going to be zoomed out a little bit so we can see more of the sandwich. And shifted to the left as far as I can so that I can see as much of the sandwich as possible. Then when I do my pan up, hidden in the pan, I'm going to go ahead and hide this zoom where I zoom over and pan over to avoid the remote. I think I'm going to have to come up just a little bit more. So what will happen now is the camera's view will shift from a wide to a slightly tighter shot. In the pan, nobody notices. So Bernie makes his face. And then he does his slow walk up, to which I think right about here, I'm going to do another, let's see, keyframe here because he jumps. That way I can do my pan. And as I do my pan, I can do another zoom out and move my frames back over to try to get Zorro's face. He jumps up and then repositions. Now, obviously, I need to find a cut point. I don't like my camera action there, even though this is all kind of messy. To begin with, it's more for fun, but I'll cut right about there. Right as Zorro gets up and there's a separation, I'm going to pull out my razor tool and make the cut. Okay, so now I'm going to trim out some of this tail of the clip. Back in our old film days where I learned my first stage of editing, we had the head and then the tail of the clip, meaning the head was at the front of the reel and the tail was at the end. So now I have from 0 to 30 seconds of my video edited. Now it's time to find my last cut point and go for the end. So let's see where we go with this. Trying to remember some of the footage. Bernie's face is on the plate, a little close. Then they have a little conversation with each other. They lick their chops. Bernie looks away. And Zorro's tail's wagging. Kind of a little obtuse frame there, and there's his bite of the sandwich. Okay, so we got some sandwich eating. Pro tip for anybody out there trying to lose weight, I found that the fasting, excuse me, wrong button. I don't need to set an in mark right there. I need to use my razor tool and make a cut. And then I need to go back to my selection tool and set my in mark at the beginning of the clip, set my out mark at the end. Pro tip for losing weight, giving your dogs your mayonnaise-covered bread is always a win for everyone involved. Love that face. I'll slow down that shot a bit and give Bernie his. Actually, yeah, let's do some retiming on this one because Bernie eats normal, and then I'll end right there. And then Bernie stops chomping, and boom. Wait. Suki hand comes in, so that was a nice cut. I'll cut it right there, though. We'll see what we get after this. Not that I'm trying to hide a Suki hand. I just see Bernie stopped chomping his lips, and that felt like a good time to do it. So I think we can cut to a close-up of Bernie here. I did it again. For those of you wondering what's going on, I'm just struggling slightly with my button pushes. I keep trying to set an in mark instead of just grabbing the head of the clip and sliding it over to where I want my in mark to be. So Bernie sniffs. Zorro looks at Bernie, looks at Zorro, looks at me. Yum, chomp. Bernie's a mover. He's always looking around. So I'll back that frame up. I think it's going to be somewhere around here is where I liked my edit point before Bernie looks away. See, once he makes the decision to look away, find that perfect moment, make the cut, moving on. So, okay, he looks away, and then we can come right back in at the hats. Because this shot is mostly featured on Bernie. Zero's kind of cropped out of it, so I can cut that out. What I can also do, just for, to make a smoother cut, is I can about here maybe start pushing in on Bernie. And that's what I'll do. So I'll go back, select the clip, select my inspector, set a keyframe for where I want the frame to start, and then at the end, as Bernie does his lick chops, I will have zoomed in to about a close-up of Bernie. Now, if you are working with 4K footage, no, I'm not talking about that. Get out of here. Hey, meow. That was Miss Cheyenne meowing in the background. Probably just wants some attention. You want to be famous, kitty? Come jump. I hear you. Meow, meow. Meow, wow. Okay, well then, tell them next time you want it cooked a different way. But why are you telling me? I don't know why they cooked it well done if you asked for medium rare. Fine, I'll take it back. No, I think she just wants to go outside. She's a funny kind of cat. She goes on walks like a dog. Check out the BPG Says vlog for more info. No, that's a Hey Hooman. Anyways, back to Hey Hooman. Zero gets a sandwich. Nom, nom, nom. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here. And as Zero gets about here, I'm going to right-click, open my retime controls, and that way I can now add a speed point so that everything after this is now going to go in slow motion. Or sorry, let's move that speed point forward a bit, actually. There we go. So it gets there, it gets the sandwich, and then right after the chomp, no, I kind of like the face he makes right about here. So that's why I want to go right here. There we go. Now he's going to go in slow motion, chomp, chomp, chomp. Add a speed point there, and we're just going to slow down this speed to about, let's say 25%. That seems like a lot. Let's just go half speed then. And see how it looks. So he goes there, he goes chomp. Back to normal, and burp. Can I have some more, please? Actually, that cut is a little long, so we might have to put a little hand in there. Well, we'll see what happens at the end. What happens to that hand? Okay, so here's the rest of the clip. Hand goes away, Zoro goes for me, he looks back for more sandwich. Oh, that's right, let me get some cheese. Lucky dogs. You know, I could go for a sandwich. Nah. Okay. Well, maybe we'll just end it there. I don't know where to go with this. Zoro's sitting there looking for more food, so let's just get rid of it. Okay, so now from 0 to 53 seconds, we have our video. It is mostly cut. Now it's time to do a little bit of video editing. Or video editing, some voiceover work. Wait, what? I just heard that sandwich. What did you hear? Oh, I can hear him too. Oh, that sandwich sounds delicious. I'm drooling. Oh, I'm not looking at the sandwich. I have to slow that one down. I have to speed up both of these. So this one has to slow down. Change clip speed, ripple in sequence, stretch to fit, and slow it down about 70%. Change. I'm not looking. Maybe I could go on longer on that clip. Let's see. Bring this over. Hello, Cheyenne. I still hear you there. That's the problem. Yeah, see, he looks just a little bit further. I kind of like that he's just looking off to the side there, so I guess that's all the traction I have on this clip. Right before his eye whites come out again. And then this one I had the speed up, I think. Well, maybe not. It's having trouble playing that one in reverse for some reason, so we'll see what happens after it renders. So, voiceover, take 2. Oh man, I can hear that sandwich. What? I can hear it too. Take 3. Oh yes, I can hear that sandwich. Oh, I can hear it too. It sounds delicious. Oh, I'm so hungry. It's making me drool. Oh no, don't look at it. You just get more hungry. Oh, that sandwich. Just can you hear that meat and cheese and bread? Oh, that sandwich is so good. Hey, can I come near the sandwich too, please? Yep. Excuse me. Get out of my face. Wow. Well, that sandwich smells and sounds good. You're meowing on my takes, kitty. Oh, yes. Thank you, Hooman. I'm so hungry. This is just so delicious. You're the best, Hoomans. Thank you, Hoomans. We love you. Or not. I don't know. Voiceover is not my strong suit. I've always been trying to find people who can do better voiceovers, but I'm having fun with it. I got to get better at using that vocal inflection and just keeping my energy up while I'm here working on various edits. So, how's time going by? Well, productivity-wise, we got a little bit of recording of some community vlog and talking about some of the heavier aspects of what we call normal is now, and wondering if we're ever going to be going back to that, or one day dreaming of sandwiches that just don't exist. I think we can. We're a great country with short memories, and if you're a hardworking person, you'll find something. You'll find your way to go. So let's call this one stream, and I'll see if I can't load them Simpsons. So let's see how this goes. In the meantime, thank you anyone who checked in or went and watching, and sure appreciate any of your support. Don't forget that I'm out here doing my chance to try to be more helpful, take on a new job, learn a new skill, and can't happen fast enough. Taking a break from homework for this hour to do some fun computer stuff. It's loading Simpsons. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're not aware, those interactions are how YouTube recognizes if you are getting people to interact. And no offense, this is not about you. It's more about me, sadly, and I know that is very selfish of me, but being able to like, comment, and subscribe and do all those things really helps the process of getting these channels to jump onto the algorithm and share some of these videos with others. Share some of these fun pet videos or some of my better BPG Says videos. Get involved in the gaming community. The Simpsons Tapped Out is a very popular game with 10 plus million downloads, and I don't even know how many active players. It's usually very well regarded in reviews, and honestly, it's just been the type of thing that I've pulled out from time to time when I was looking for, something to do on the side, when I was just, passing time, if you were, and now I have been able to produce and make a town that I just love. And I love showing it off, and I love sharing it, so we'll see if how this looks as we download the new update. We are now closing in on fully updated, so if you want to add me, I am at Mr. BPG. My Simpsons Tapped Out is BG, one and only. That is the username for the Simpsons Tapped Out, and let's go ahead and check out the game. While I'm at it, I might do some fun stuff like record some other voiceovers that I've wanted to do. A while back, I did one called The Story of the Bear, the Bird, the Monkey, and the Fish. and I've been trying to think of different ways of showing off that title or that story. So I remember the idea of, what do you say? I remember the idea of a bear walking through the woods. Or let's start over again. There once was a fish in the water. And the fish didn't know it was in the water. It didn't know the difference between the water above and the air, or sorry, the water below and the air above. I shouldn't apologize, just do a new takey. All right, now I'm starting to talk to myself, so sorry about that. Why am I apologizing again? Take 5,000. So there once was a fish in the river. The fish had really only 4 options in life: swim upstream, swim downstream, eat food, and avoid predators. It had no understanding of the world below it. It had no understanding of the physics of the air above it. It just knew that it floated in its medium and looked for its food. One day that fish was pulled out of the river by the bear and eaten. There once was a bear walking through the forest, where he came across to a river and decided to go fishing. As he was standing next to the river catching fish, he noticed a monkey in a tree trying to yell at the fish to get out of the water. The bear thought to himself, well, that's one silly monkey, because that's no way to catch a fish. That monkey eventually jumped into the water and grabbed the fish by his hands. The monkey brought the fish into the tree and set it down carefully on the branch. But the fish continued to flap around, struggling to breathe in the open air. The monkey screamed at it, "Why are you struggling so? I merely only meant to save you from drowning." These are some of the philosophy I've come across in the wandering that I've done, and finding this idea that in many cases the bear thinks he knows the best for the way to hunt. Let's see, and finds out that there are other ways than the way he knows. The fish is the person who's unaware of the world around them, and they'll eventually be hunted by the bear. And the monkey is the one who thinks he knows what's best for the fish by trying to save it from drowning, but doesn't understand what the fish is actually going through. The bear just doesn't think too hard. When he's done at the fishing pool, he will go off to the next thing, but the fish won't know any better. They can just choose to go upstream or downstream, to eat or to be food. So, be the bear. Let's see, we got Bart talking to Mr. Burns. He says, I insult him. Looks like we're doing WCW. World Class Wrestling has gone bankrupt. Smithers smells something delicious. Mixes Bengay with Vapor Rub. Actually, that is not a bad sign, but yeah. Purchase this wrestling company at once. Well, that's interesting. Well, at this point, as we get later in the video, I'm going to go ahead and end without playing this whole game. There's just about a half hour's worth of work to do to reset this town. I started a long time ago placing all of these buildings. In previous videos, I've talked about how I have my slum side of town, my rich side of town, the Squidport with all of the various hotels and things there. Obviously, I have my incredibly complex maze with a bunch of different vignettes. I truly do suggest you download the game and add me as a friend so you can see what I and, other people have done with their towns. But the one thing I can tell you about this town and what it's taught me is, Jesus, cat. The cat trying to get my attention just decided to stand in front of the light that was shining from behind, casting a shadow on me. I thought someone just broke into the house and was standing behind me. Well done, kitty. Well done. You got my attention. So let me just end today's vlog by playing the Let's Take All the Money from the Buildings game. It's kind of like the, maybe like the IRS button. Every house, every business has to donate a certain amount of money, or donate, if words mean anything, has to pay a certain amount of money to me, the Skyfinger. As you can see, my current in-game currency is set to 679,732. With one tap of the button, I can get all of these buildings to send me all their money, raising me by nearly $100,000. So what this game has taught me is it's best to have a lot of different projects out there. It's best if you're able, here on Spaceship Earth, we certainly love a distraction. I hope to see you again, but definitely not in the back of one of the ambulances that I may soon be employing. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.